The Buddha said that the suffering you suffer in this life is not punishment. It's a ladder to liberation. This video today, I will take you deep into a true and the shocking Buddhist koan. An old woman spent her life doing good deeds, but a tragic fate, and those who do evil are captured. He knelt in front of the Buddha and asked about the inversion of good and evil. What is cause and effect? Buddha's compassion begins, uncovered a paragraph. The truth of cause and effect across 3 lifetimes. Also mentioned a company. The secret of cause and effect that many practitioners misunderstand. The greatest confusion in the world. There is nothing better than good and evil. Cause and effect reverse. Bahua Jingyan. All laws are born by fate. I say karma. Extinct for reasons. I say so. However, in reality, good people often suffer. The wicked enjoy. Why is that? Buddhism often says that good causes good results, evil results. But why do some people do nothing good in their lives, but disaster? Why do people do so much evil? Instead of wealth and glory, is there really no karma? Or is there something else going on here? When the Blessed One looked. Once upon a time, an old woman knelt before the Buddha. Key and blood asked the Blessed One, I have been kind and compassionate all my life. Why is fate so tragic? Buddha's answer. Not only did the old man suddenly realize, the 500 monks present were deeply shocked. So, what causal truth did the Blessed One reveal? What's the amazing secret hidden in this? It was an autumn evening. Sunset. The way Guoki tree will be set up. Every leaf of the garden of solitude golden. Kyesha Jongqing melodious. The Blessed One is giving a sermon for Ju BQ. Suddenly there was a shrill cry outside the door. There was deep despair and unwillingness in his voice. Venerable Anan frowned. The cry pierced the silence of amnesty like a sharp blade. It makes you feel compassion. Anan, go and see who is crying. The voice of the Blessed One is still peaceful, but eyes flash a ray of compassion. Anan got up and walked out. I saw an old woman kneeling in front of the gate of the Jingshu. Her hair is as white as snow, wrinkled face. The clothes on his body are covered with countless patches. The thin figure shivered in the autumn wind. The most moving thing is the look in her eyes. Those cloudy old eyes are full of pain. Confused and angry. Why are you crying again, old man? Anan's tone is mild. Deep sympathy welled up in my heart. The old woman looked up. Tears blurred his vision. His lips trembled. It took a long time to speak. Hoarse like an old bellows. Your Holiness, I really don't understand. I don't understand. He wiped the tears from his face with trembling hands. Go on, my name is Sean Girl. I am 73 years old. I have never done anything wrong in my life. When you see someone in trouble, you must help. When you see a beggar, you must give alms. Take care of the patient. The villagers say I'm a good person. Even the children will call me a good mother-in-law when they see me. Speaking of which, he gets more emotional. The sound gets sharper. But His Holiness, do you know what my destiny is? Anan listened quietly. I sighed in my heart. He has seen too many suffering beings, but the old woman's pain seemed particularly severe. The good old woman wiped her tears with her sleeve. Generate and tell their own experiences. 20 years old. I married an honest husband in the village. Hardworking and kind. We live a poor but harmonious life. We have 3 children. 2 sons and 1 daughter. A warm memory flashed in his eyes. but it was soon replaced by pain. But it didn't last. Husband became seriously ill at the age of 35. I sold the product and treated him. Asked for medicine everywhere, but still couldn't save his life. Anand nodded. Motioned him to continue talking after the death of his husband. I carried 3 by myself. The child's life is difficult. But I never gave up, working day and night. Finally, the children are brought up. The eldest son married a wife. I thought the hard times were over. But who knew that the voice of the good girl was choked up? He covered his face and wept bitterly. After a long time, he raised his head again and continued to say, "The eldest son has been married for less than a year. Died of a sudden plague. Daughter-in-law remarried with unborn child. Even my only bloodline has been taken away." Anand's heart was heavy when he heard it. But he did. The old woman's sufferings are not yet over. The second son is smarter. Run a small business. I gave him all my savings as capital. Hope he has a good life. There was a hint of bitterness in the tone of the good girl. But he was cheated into bankruptcy by a profiteer. Oh, a huge debt. Creditors come to collect debts every day. Pushed us mother and son to a corner. His hands were clenched into fists, deep into the palm. The second son can't stand this humiliation, and he threw himself into the river one night. I couldn't even find my son's body. Anand sighed deeply. The fate of this old woman is indeed too tragic. My youngest daughter is my most beloved child. He is kind and sensible. Helped me with the housework since I was a child. Another trace of tenderness flashed in the good girl's eyes. At the age of 18, he married a young man from a neighboring village. I thought he would finally live a happy life. And there's a pause. Tenderness in the eyes, instantly replaced by great pain. But his mother-in-law is a vicious woman. Abuse my daughter every day. Don't let him eat. Force him to do the hardest work. I often beat and scold him. My daughter has a delicate personality, dare not resist, can only bear it silently. The good girl's voice grew even more trembling. Last winter. Daughter dystocia. Need a doctor, but that vicious mother-in-law said she had no money. Let the doctor. My daughter just died of pain. Speaking of which, the good girl is already sobbing. Her entire body lay limp on the ground. Anand looked at the suffering old woman. Infinite compassion welled up in my heart. He comforted the old man softly. "I'm sorry, your experience is really pitiful." The good girl raised her head abruptly, eyes burning with anger. "Your Holiness, do you think this is fair? I have done good all my life, but lost all my loved ones. Now I'm lonely. There's no shelter. I now live in a rundown temple outside the city. I collect trash for a living. Sometimes you can't even find wild vegetables. Just starve." His voice grew more and more excited. "But what about the villains? There is a bully in the village, dedicated to oppressing the good, occupy other people's fields, robbing folk girls, all evil. But his family is rich, full of children and grandchildren, enjoy the glory and wealth." The good girl slapped the ground hard. "And my daughter's evil mother-in-law killed my daughter. But he is still alive and well. The other daughters-in-law are all respectful to him. Is there still karma in this world? Is there any justice?" Anand listened to the story of the good girl. "I also have doubts in my heart." He practiced for many years, convinced that cause and effect are not false. "But what happened to this kind old woman in front of you?" He didn't know how to explain it for a moment. "Good girl, your question is very reasonable," Anand said after a moment of reflection. "But it's a deep question. I can't fully answer it either. Why don't I take you to see the Blessed One? His old man is as wise as a sea. I'm sure I can answer your questions. The good girl heard that she wanted to see the Buddha. Get excited immediately? I can really see the Blessed One. Of course, the Blessed One is very merciful. I will never reject any confused being. Anand raises the good girl. I'll take you in. Two people came to the lecture hall. At this time, the Blessed One is on the right side, surrounded by hundreds of monks. Buddha's love is solemn. It's a soft glow. People look up to it. As soon as the good girl saw the Buddha, immediate five-body cast. Tears rained down. Blessed One. The disciple's good girl saw the true body of the Tathagata today. It's really lucky for 3 lifetimes. Buddha looked at the old woman compassionately, said softly, "Good girl, get up. If you have anything on your mind, let's hear it." Good girl gets up. He recounted in detail the experiences of his life. His voice is sometimes angry, sometimes sad, sometimes confused. All the monks present were moved by what happened to him. Some young monks even secretly wiped their tears. After telling your story, the good lady knelt before the Buddha, asked the Blessed One with a trembling voice, "The disciple doesn't understand why I have done good deeds all my life to suffer so much. Why do the wicked enjoy the blessings instead? Is there really no karma?" And it's not just the good girls who have this problem. It is also a question in the hearts of many monks present. They all know the truth that cause and effect are not false, but in the face of all the injustices in reality, confusion sometimes. The Buddha listened quietly to the perfect woman, eyes full of compassion. He glanced around at the heavy monks present, and then it falls back on the good girl. Your question is good. This is also the confusion in the hearts of many people. The Buddha's voice was calm and deep. However, before answering your question, I want to ask you something first. The good girl answers immediately, "World-honored one, please ask the disciple to answer truthfully." Buddha smiled. You said you did good all your life, never done anything wrong. So have you ever thought, why do you have the heart to do good? This question stunned the good at. He never thought about it. I just feel like seeing others suffer. I can't bear it. Naturally, I want to help. Help them, I don't know. I just thought it was the right thing to do. The good girl answered honestly. Buddha nodded. Did you know? Why are some people born with compassion? And some people are naturally cold? The good girl shook her head. Disciple does not know. The Buddha's expression became more solemn. And that gets to the fundamental idea of cause and effect. The gift of cause and effect, it's not just about this life, but to observe the cycle of life and death of boundless Jilai. Hear, hear. The monks present pricked up their ears. They know. The Blessed One is about to begin to delve into the mystery of cause and effect. The Buddha continued, all the hardships you have suffered in this life, and the kindness of your life, there are deep reasons. The reason is not in this life, and in the past, boundless always. A glimmer of anticipation and fear flashed in the good girl's eyes. Past event, yes. The past, the Buddha's eyes became deep. It seems to be able to see through the long river of time. Good girl, would you like to hear me tell you about your ordinary marriage? The good girl nodded without hesitation, and the disciple was willing to listen. Ask the Blessed One to see. Buddha closes his eyes, applying divine ability to observe the marriage of good girls. Everybody was holding their breath. In the air, there is a mysterious and solemn atmosphere. After a long time, the Buddha opened his eyes, with a deep compassion in his eyes, and an indescribably complex emotion. He looked at the single girl Chun Sheng and said, "Single girl, your Sue's marriage is very complicated. It's about causality." The good girl nervously asked her disciple what she had done. The Buddha sank for a moment. Then he opened his mouth and said that in the long past, "You used to be a..." At this critical moment, the Buddha suddenly stopped speaking. His expression grew more serious, as if to reveal some shocking secret. Everyone present felt a sense of unprecedented tension. The atmosphere and even the air seemed to freeze. The Buddha slowly looked around the crowd. The gaze stayed on the face of the good girl for a long time. His eyes were full of anticipation and fear. Desire to know the truth. Afraid to hear some terrible truth. What did the disciples of the Blessed One do in the past tense? The good girl's voice trembled. Hands unconsciously clenched. Buddha's expression became more solemn than ever. His voice was deep and mysterious. "Good girl, your plain marriage, involving British law, the deepest secret of all. This secret, it is related to the fundamental doubts of every practitioner regarding the true meaning of retribution for good and evil." All 500 monks present felt their hearts racing. Even the most composed Night Lord. I can't help but lean forward. I want to hear every word of the Blessed One. Venerable Sherifu Chang asked, "What is the secret of the Blessed One?" Buddha looked to the good woman. An unfathomable light flashed in his eyes. "Good girl, before answering your question, I'm going to start by telling you an amazing fact. The 3 children you lost in this life, and all the hardships of your life, it's all about an action you did in the past." "What behavior?" the good girl asked eagerly. The Buddha's voice became even more mysterious. "This behavior is malicious on the surface. But there is a hidden cause, the big secret of karma. If you don't understand this secret, you will never understand why good people suffer. The wicked enjoy." He paused. Everybody's holding their breath, waiting for this to change their understanding of cause and effect. The shocking secret of understanding. What's even more shocking is, the Buddha went on to say that you have 3 children in this life. It is not by chance that they become your children. They go with you. The formula has a very special marriage relationship. This relationship reveals the most mysterious aspect of karma. The good girl's face turned pale. He vaguely felt, what shocking truth is about to be heard? Buddha looked at him. Mercy to say that once the truth is revealed, not only will it answer your doubts, it will let all the monks present understand. What is the true meaning of karma? The tension in the air reached its peak. Everyone wants to know this shocking secret that can solve the doubts of the ages. What is it? The Buddha took a deep look at the good girl. Then slowly speak, good girl. In the past, there were countless disasters. You used to be a rich girl. High birth, worry-free food and clothing, but you were proud in that life. Look down on the poor, good at staring wide-eyed in shock. I actually did something like that. And not only that, the Buddha went on to say that in that lifetime, you are extremely angry. Killed 3 innocent women. They were good people, but died tragically because of your own self-interest. Hear, hear. A good girl is struck by lightning. Her body went limp. The monks present were also shocked. But Buddha's style changed. This is only superficial cause and effect. The real secret is your 3 children in this life. It was the 3 women you killed that year. Venerable Sharifa couldn't help but ask the Blessed One, why were they born as children of good women? Buddha smiled. This is the deepest law of compassion in the law of causality. Although the 3 women were killed, but they didn't fall into evil after they died. Instead, he made a big complaint. What a big grudge. The good girl asked in a trembling voice. They vowed to be born as your children. Use your own death to remove your malice. At the same time, with a short-term mother-child relationship, to awaken the compassion in your heart, there was infinite emotion in the Buddha's voice. They know, only in this way, to truly resolve each other's grievances, to set you on the path to liberation. And everybody here was shocked by the truth. It turns out that the 3 children of the good girl, I came to save him. The Buddha went on to explain, your suffering in this life is not pure retribution, but the 3 bodhisattvas used their own lives, a meditation course designed for you. They use their own death, removes the killing intent of your quality, awaken the compassion in your heart with the deep affection of mother and son. Let you understand the impermanence of life with the pain of parting. The good girl burst into tears, but this time it wasn't painful tears, but tears of gratitude. They are bodhisattvas. Exactly. The Buddha nodded. They were getting the fruity taste of bodhisattva, could have enjoyed the joy of heaven, but to save you, willing to incarnate, experience the pain of birth, old age, illness, this is the compassion of the Buddha. Anan asked the Blessed One, how did the kindness of the good girl come from this life? This is also the result of their compassionate blessings. The Buddha explained that they used their own merits, planted the seeds of compassion in the hearts of good women. Therefore, the good girl will have a heart to do good in this life, to feel the pain of others. He-chan, the venerable family property, praised it so much. Those evil people on the surface. Happiness also has its underlying reasons. Buddha nodded. Everyone's marriage is different. Some people enjoy this life. It is the fruit of good deeds. But if you don't continue to do good in this life, after the blessing is exhausted, it will inevitably degenerate. Some people suffer in this life. It is the result of bad karma. But if you can do good deeds and repent in this life, the future must be liberated. He turned to be good at. Good girl, now do you understand that your suffering is not punishment? It's a ladder to liberation. Your 3 children are not your lost relatives, but to save your bodhisattva. The good girl suddenly realized, Blessed One, I see. I've been complaining about the injustice of fate. But I don't know how much. Big End is more than that. The Buddha continued, your good deeds in this life will be the food for future liberation. And those 3 bodhisattvas also saved you because of their success. Merit is more complete. This is the spirit of the Bodhisattva Daya. Do not seek comfort for yourself. May all beings understand suffering. The Venerable One asked, Izan, how should we perceive the hardships in life? The Buddha said solemnly, all circumstances are opportunities for spiritual practice. Prosperity is the test of whether we are greedy. Adversity is an opportunity to remove our karma. Understand this. You can maintain peace of mind in any situation. He looks good at. Good at it. Do you still complain about fate? Good girl shakes her head, eyes full of gratitude to the Blessed One. I don't complain anymore. I would like to thank those 3 bodhisattvas. Thank you for everything they have done for me. I also want to be grateful for these sufferings. They made me understand the true meaning of life. Buddha nodded approvingly. That's right. When you can be grateful for all circumstances, you are already on the road to liberation. Ananda asked, How should the good girl of the Blessed One practice next? Keep doing good, but to understand the true meaning of doing good. The Buddha said don't do good for the sake of good fortune, but to do good in order to purify the mind. At the same time, always think of the kindness of the three bodhisattvas. Wish to be like them in the future. Do whatever it takes to save sentient beings. Good at asking, how can I repay their kindness, Lord? The best reward, to become a bodhisattva like them. The Buddha said compassionately, when you can achieve your goals, when other beings are willing to suffer, you really understand their feelings. From this day on, the good girl has completely changed. He stopped complaining about fate. It's more practice. He used to tell people that my children were bodhisattvas. My suffering is, and every situation is an opportunity to practice. Every pain is a ladder to enlightenment. His words spread throughout the Socialist Republic. Many people have thus come to understand the true meaning of cause and effect. They no longer saw pleasure as retribution. It's about understanding the compassion that goes into it. 3 years later, the good girl passed away peacefully in one morning. It is said that when he was dying, think of Tianel in the air. 3 beautiful goddesses appeared in front of him. It is his 3 children in this life. They smiled and said to the good girl, Mother, you finally understand our intentions. Now let's go home together. The story of the good girl became one of the most touching koans in Buddhism. She told us, cause and effect are not just laws. It is compassion, not just karma. It's not just about personal gain and loss. It's about liberation. The seeming injustice. It is often the deepest compassion. Those seeming hardships. It is often the most precious spiritual opportunity when we can use a grateful heart. When facing all situations, we are approaching the wisdom of the Buddha. Understand the true meaning of cause and effect. As the Huayan Sutra says, all beings have the wisdom and virtue of the Tathagata. But with delusion and persistence, I cannot be upright. When we let go of our obsession with the gains and losses of bitterness, when looking at all situations with equality, we can find out. It turns out that behind every pain, all hide the compassion of the Bodhisattva. Every ordeal is a stairway to liberation. This is the truth of cause and effect. It's not cold revenge. It is the deepest compassion. He is not a desperate destiny, but the hope of liberation. Understand the truth. We can rise and fall in life. Maintain inner peace. Steady towards consciousness in the long river of cause and effect. The other side of enlightenment. Sometimes the injustice of fate is not the loss of the way of heaven, but the cause and effect are not, sometimes, the deepest, and hidden in the loss we thought was the most painful. If you hear it, your heart will be touched a little bit. Please like and support this channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's continue to explore the wisdom and compassion in Buddhism. You are rewarded for kindness. What is the understanding of evil retribution? Have you ever experienced a similar marriage? Welcome to leave a message in the comment area. We communicate and practice together. May you maintain your compassion in troubled times. See the light of hope in cause and effect. Amitabha. See you next time.